Zoom is, as I've shown, I hope, in the previous two videos, relatively easy to get into and quite easy to use. A lot of it is automated, a lot of it works for itself. But there are some things which a little bit of human input makes a big difference to how the final communication goes. And when you start, you're probably going to put your laptop down on a desk or something like that, or on your knees. Your knees aren't so good because it moves around, and sort of if you're moving around in the shot, that's not so good. So it's better to have your laptop or whatever you're going to use in a stable place. I often have used my laptop, but I've discovered my camera isn't really as good as my phone camera, which has got a much nicer quality of picture. So my phone just put stably here enables us to get a better quality of picture. So my first clue is look at yourself and look at your cameras and see if you've got a better camera you can use. So my phone camera gives a much nicer picture than that which is on my laptop, and that's going to be a more pleasant experience for others to look at. The second clue is about position. Normally you'd put it on your knees or on a desk or on a table, but the problem with that is you're looking down at people. You can see that particularly with my phone camera, that I seem to be looking down at you, and looking down at someone isn't a really on the level communication. It's much better to have your laptop or your phone at a better height. So I've actually got for myself, I've made a shelf to put my laptop on. I also have a keyboard for my laptop, which £10-15 for a keyboard, and a mouse that's separate. And that actually enables you to operate levelly, but it also gets you back in a good position and gives you a bit more space in the shot. If you're too much close to the camera, you tend to dominate the picture. And that, again, feels a bit in your face, even in video communication. So get your camera in the right place. Of course, my phone is still down on the desk, which isn't such a good thing. And if you can't build your own shelf and so on, you can get yourself a box. I've got a box here, some kind of box. You could use a pile of books, but it's not the most stable thing. So if we were to put that up there and get it at a more level, there we are. Now we've got my phone at a more sensible level by putting it on a box. It may look a bit silly to you, but to those who you're communicating with, now you're talking on a level at about the right size. That's a great thing to be able to do. Equally, it's important to have the right light on your face. If the light is all from above and not coming onto your face, then it looks harsh and unpleasant and unattractive. And if the light's from behind you, like it might be if I did this, you'll see that just really doesn't work at all well, does it? Your automatic camera doesn't cope with that. So you want to have light coming onto your face, and if it can be a big, nice, even light, that's great. So on a nice sunny day like this, the window is a big wide window is a perfect place to set yourself up in front of. At night or something, I often use this kind of light that's just quite a big wide light, and it points at my face. And try to make sure you've got as much light as possible in the room, but try and get it on your face and try not to get too many reflections on your glasses. One of the clues really is to look at yourself. If you look good and you can see that you look good, then that's great. I also look at the camera. You'll see that on the laptop the camera is often at the top, and if you look up there as opposed to down at the screen, and you actually look as though you're looking eye to eye, which is a good thing to do. And on my phone, I'm not even sure where the camera is, but I think it's probably off to one side, so I probably need to look slightly to the side. But if you're just looking at a picture, looking at the people on the screen all the time, you actually look as though you're not looking at them. But if you look at the camera occasionally and smile, people love to see a smile, don't they? That's really a good thing to have, is a good smile. Your background can be important. As we showed, if you've got too bright a background, it can affect things. And also the colour of the background. If it's a nice matches to the colours that you want, you get a more natural look and more natural to your face. So choose a good background. Try to make sure it's not full of things that you don't want to be seen. I carefully make sure there's no underwear on the radiator, anything like that. But it does, I think, work better if you can show your home in the background rather than use an automatic background. You can use an automatic background, but it does feel a bit like you're an artificial person, not really wanting to engage with people. But if you can find something that's nice and attractive in your background that works, and I like to go slightly off to the side of my shot. I think central is a bit, doesn't really work for me, but that's entirely up to you. As I say, the important thing is to look at yourself. And if you've looked at yourself and you look good and you've got your best camera and you've got the light on the face, you've got the camera in the right place, it's going to be an attractive experience for you and an attractive experience for others, and that's going to create a much better communication. So there you go. That's the basics. You can get some other things. I've got here a mount for putting my phone into. Things like this can be quite good. You'll probably see it there. I've just put it on a little tripod that can actually mount your phone quite effectively and well. Again, really very inexpensive, £10, something like that, to get that kind of mount. You can get other mounts for your phones, but that will make you in a much better position. You can see it there in the other shot off my laptop. Or you could use one of these kind of things. Again, they're available in most services, car shops and so on. That's for mounting your phone on something and sticking it there. You can stick it and then move it around. Should be fully adjustable if you've got it in the right place, which I haven't. But you can stick that in a window and get a nice shot that way. So, clues to getting your picture right are: choose your right camera, get your right eyeline, eyes level so that you're communicating on a level, get some nice light onto your face so that it's big broad light from whatever sources you can get in front of you rather than above you or behind you. Nice even background without any real clutter of things that are going to cause trouble, and a bit of a wide element to the shot, not too close, so that you come across as part of a conversation rather than as the dominant one, looking down and running the conversation like this in the dark. So that's really how to do the picture side. And we'll just look at a little bit of things you can do to help the sound, which might be useful, although the sound on these, it can be very, very clever and work quite well even in adverse conditions. But there are a few things we can do, so we'll look at that now. With sound, probably the most important thing is where you are. If you're in a very echoey room, like here in the kitchen, you pick up much more of the background noise, and also the background noise. If you're at a distance from your camera, you pick up background noises. So if you're in a noisy environment, that's not going to help. So you want to be somewhere reasonably quiet and reasonably not echoey. This time I set up with my camera for my phone on that other mount that we were looking at. And again, I've got a kind of quite nice, relaxed way of being. The lighting's not quite as good as I might want it to be, but it's kind of half good. Certainly more relaxed than if I just closed this door. In fact, I was finding that once I did that, I was getting a big reflection in that back window, and that was making it really unpleasant. So, just something like that can make a huge difference to how you look and how the experience of others goes. But we're going to go now to a less echoey environment and listen to the sound there. So here we are upstairs, and this is a less echoey environment. Many of your studies or your living rooms will be much less echoey than your kitchen. Generally a better place to do the sound from. You'll notice that if I come closer to the camera, you get a clearer sound, but you also get that dominance of picture. So you kind of good balance, and in a deadish sound, you'll probably get quite a nice sound off the automatic camera microphones. You'll notice in the picture over there that I've been shooting on my own camera, my stills camera or video camera, whatever it is. I've actually put a duvet in to hang up. That's a Ben Stacey trick. Ben Stacey solution is very good on sound and lighting and all sorts of things. I've put that duvet on a clothes dryer so that you get a nice slightly more dead sound in the room, and that helps. But if you've got lots of background noise, that's not going to really solve the problems. So then one of the tricks is, most of you will have had one of these, a box that had your phone in, and in it there is a pair of headphones, and they've got a jack plug on that you can see has got 3 points to it. They've got earpieces like those, the two earpieces, I can't get them both in shot, and a microphone. And if you put those into your phone and then put your earpieces in your ear and your thing into your phone, if only you can find the right socket, I think that's the one. That transfers the sound to a microphone that's much closer to your mouth, and that will give a clearer sound. It will also mean that you can hear everyone else more clearly. You can do that just by plugging it into your laptop as well. And it may well be that those of you who have are doing a big meeting need to use the laptop rather than the phone because of the picture size and all the different people on the screen. That's fine. Do choose whatever works for the overall setting, really. Clearly, the phone gives a much nicer picture, but actually when there's lots of units, a small picture is probably not as big of a problem. And if you can't see all the different people, then you probably want to do that. But you can plug your phone, those in, and that will give a clearer sound, and it will mean that the background noise is much less. So if there's children running around in the distance, their dog barking, whatever's going on in the background, cars driving past, all of that will be a lot quieter. The final solution that I often use is to actually either use one of these. This is a headset, gaming headset, cost me £20. You can get them from about £14, £15 up to £200-300 depending what you want. It's for the kids on the Xbox. We plug that in. It's got a microphone that's right in front of my face, much more comfortable on the ear. I look a bit silly in the shot, but hey. And then I can hear and see, and when you plug it into your laptop ear or your computer, if it's a Windows thing, it will ask you as a headset or headphones, and you choose headset. And there you are. It gives a clearer sound, and you can hear the sound of the other people much clearer. You'll enjoy your video conferencing, your video calls, and everything else much more. And the people who are watching you will enjoy it much more if they can see your eyes, if they can react with you in a pleasant way. So here we are, a little later in the day. I've discovered that actually the camera is over on that side of my phone. So when I look over there, I'm looking at you rather than when I look at myself, where I'm not looking at you, which is a good thing. And I've got the camera still at nice height. I've had to put a light on because it's rather dark, the window, without that. But I've gone for that front light to create that effect rather than the top light, which really wasn't going to work. And it's still pleasant and still attractive, not quite as bright and clear as it was with the window light, because there was lots of that earlier when it was sunny. Much nicer than this kind of thing, which is a bit wobbly and really unpleasant. And of course, if you want to, or it's a noisy environment, you can put the headset in, or the earphones and earpiece, and you'll improve the sound again. So there we are. That's how to do video conferencing, video calls in a way that's pleasant for you and pleasant for those who are watching you, and makes for a much better experience. So I hope that's helpful to you. All the best. Bye.